Hey there, Di here, and today she's calling the shots. So what I want to do today is let my dog Bonnie help me make some decisions about what to make. So there's going to be 4 decisions that Bonnie has to make, and with each decision she will be given 3 choices. Pretty sure I'm going to have to use treats to help her make her choice, but anyway. Now, of those 3 choices, I've decided that each category will have one choice that I'm quite comfortable doing and I want to do. The next will be a choice that maybe less comfortable with but still want to do. And the third choice is going to be something that is just a little bit out of my comfort zone. So the first of the 4 decisions that she's going to have to make is what to make. And her 3 choices are going to be hippo, I'm quite comfortable with that. A pixie, never done a pixie before, but I think I can manage it. And the last that really isn't my style, but a troll. See what happens there if we get it. The next category is my color palette. So what colors am I going to be using? Now, whatever color palette I get given, black and white are still, they're not colors technically, so I get to use them anyway. First color palette is rainbow. It includes all the colors of the rainbow, so I think that's fairly easy. My next color palette, which I like, but might be a little bit more restrictive, is a cool color palette. And the last one, which when the idea popped into my head, I was a bit, what actually is this? So I had to Google it and I looked it up, and it's definitely outside my comfort zone, and that is jewel tones. So I'll pop up on the screen what I mean by jewel tone color palette. Next category is the theme of the item. So just to give it a bit of a direction. The first is dessert. I feel quite comfortable with that. I think that's quite easy and fun. The next is, I can't really say that this is something I would normally go for. I don't know why I did it, maybe because it's cutesy, but it's baby. And the last one that is definitely out of my comfort zone and not something I would normally go for, but evil. And the last category is what to use. Now I do know I want to sculpt, but there are a couple of different ways that I can sculpt. So, first option, which I'm very comfortable with, I think, a thrift store item. The next category is something I think is a bit similar, but I've not done it before. A store-bought doll. Actually, maybe think this should be in the category I'm terrified of. And the last category is something I really have been putting off doing, but kind of wanting to, but too scared to, and that is make it from scratch. Anyway, let me go and get my little lovely fluffy. So you've got to make a decision. Do you think you can handle it? Yeah? I'll get it set up. Don't run away. Bonnie, come here. Am I going to have to hold your teddy hostage? I promise I'll let you have it back. Bonnie, I've got your teddy. Come here. You might get a bit more enthusiastic. Here, sniff this. Are we a bit more? Yeah, I thought we'd get a bit more enthusiastic with that. So we're starting with the first category being what to make. Okay? Do you understand? What to make. You're so good. You are so good. Let's shuffle these around. Got no idea which is which. All right, ready and go. Take. Do you want one? I can't point to which one. Take. Can you have one? Take. This is going really well so far. She doesn't normally eat off the table, so I think she's maybe a bit confused and worried. Well, that's a lie. You've eaten a burger off a table when no one was looking. So the middle one was pixie. Now we're going to do the colour palette. All right, the colour palette. Let's reset this. Turn them over to the colour palette. Take. Oh, we got a winner. It's this one this time. This one is rainbow. Okay. Next is the theme. 3 treats. Wait. Yeah, wait. Take. Oh, what have we got? It was the middle one. It's definitely the middle one. Okay. All right. Our rainbow pixie is going to be... evil. An evil rainbow pixie. Okay. And the last one is what I'm gonna use. Take. All right. Went to that one first. Thrift store item. Okay. Funnily enough, I was actually kind of hoping for the store-bought doll, but thrift store item, yep, okay, I can do that. And I've actually got a couple of thrift store items in my box, so I might just go and grab those and see if they're good enough. We'll see if I need to go shopping. Good girl, you want one last treat? And then you can have your toy back. High five? Good girl. Alright, so this is my box of items. So not those. We get the store-bought doll. Christmas baubles, I think. Decorate. Those for tie-dyeing. Wishes that I've thought about turning into Animal Crossing characters. Oh, here we go. Got a couple of salt and pepper shakers. It came from a thrift store. I've already actually started customizing that. Got this guy, that was a thrift store. Could that be a pixie? Lucky cat. It's actually a stress ball. Obviously I had an idea for that, no idea what. Thrift store, that's an option. That could actually work. Feel like being evil today? Okay, I need to come up with a plan.
After saying I'm going to make a plan, I decide to just make it up as I go. I want to let the clay and the figurine guide what I do. Not sure this was the best decision, as I made a lot of changes as I went, so it took far longer than I anticipated. However, I did look up pictures of pixies, as I want to see what the big difference is between a fairy and a pixie. A fairy apparently is like a miniature human with wings, whereas pixies don't look like humans, are apparently smaller, coloured skin and hair, and are mischievous by nature. This mischievousness will hopefully help me with the theme of evil. Looking at the figurine I have to work with, I want to bust out my old Dremel, because that nose is just not going to work for me. I'm also not liking the ears, but I'll leave them alone as I don't want to make too many major modifications before I start sculpting, as I think the challenge of working with what's in front of me is more fun. The old Dremel in question has decided to conk out. So, oh, what a shame, I'll have to go and get a new one. And we are away. In all my wisdom, I think, the mess and dust from this will be minimal, so I'll be okay here doing it at my desk in my craft room. Dong dong. Wrong. Dust is flying everywhere, and I'm not sure what's taking me longer, removing the nose or cleaning it up. Real intelligent. So after a good clean up, on with the liquid Sculpey to attach the clay. I go through a few different ways on how to dress the pixie. Firstly, I'm thinking of doing like a rag type coverall, much like house elves wear in Harry Potter. Then I cut that down to be shorts instead. Then I thought that looked weird, so I'm going to sculpt a little dress. And I nearly finished that, but I'm still not happy. And I'm thinking and thinking and thinking, and realise I'm simply overthinking it and opt for a naked pixie, as my research on pixies describes them as not having clothes, or they steal clothes. But anyway, I'm glad of my decision. I just wish I'd realised it sooner, because all I need to do is cover over the patch and increase the belly a bit to hide the scars I made with an out of control Dremel. Next area to tackle is this rose. I don't want my pixie holding a rose, so it got me thinking. What is so evil about this pixie? In my research on the good old Google, I came across things pixies would do in folklore, and I read that they were accused of stealing babies. That's a bit too evil for this little guy, so I just thought, what do I find evil? What could this little pixie do to me that is so evil? And it came to me. I hate it when I go to the cupboard and some mysterious person, or creature, has stolen my chocolate, or ice cream, or any tasty treat really that I've been saving for ages, but boom, it's gone. Truly an evil act. So let's make this pixie be an evil treat-stealing thief, and behind his back is his latest treat he's stolen. Working with the rose shape, I start out trying to make it look like a scoop of ice cream. Not happy with that, so I turn it into an open lollipop. Still not happy with that, so I finally settle for a cupcake, and I cover up the leaves with frosting that has dripped down. Perfect. After baking and saving my progress, it's time to tackle the head. So I'll grab a hunk of clay and attach it on with good old Bacon Bond. While I chopped off the point of the nose because the shape wouldn't work, the width of the cheeks is actually really working for me. I've got a few different reference pictures up on my computer to help me flesh out the cheeks, chin and mouth. I want to aim for an open mouth, but the teeth are a little intimidating, so I'll just stick with a closed mouth. I want to go with resin eyes, so I'm using UV resin in a mould. I'll make 2 sets and see which I like best. The first set are basic, small, black eyes, which, while kind of cute, they're just not showing a lot of personality. So I'm gonna go for the big green eyes instead. How to tackle modifying those original teddy ears is really challenging me. And I'm trying to turn them into like a spiky mohawk type hairdo, but it looks so friggin' weird, I'm gonna dump that idea. Instead, I turn one ear into some side swept hair, and the other teddy ear becomes a new pixie ear. And I match that up with another pixie ear on the other side. What does our pixie need now? A set of little wings. I go for wings inspired by dragonfly wings. I also go back to the face and add some eyebrows to help carry off that devious, evil look I want him to have. I'll save you the tedious, boring process of covering up the present he's sitting on. Plus, I popped on some clay around his ankles to make him look like he's wearing little boots. A naked pixie except for boots. Yep, sounds good to me. As I start the painting process, one of his little wings break off. I glue it back on later, but then the other wing breaks off too. I'm not sure why my clay breaks so much. I bake it according to the package's instructions, but I just keep getting breaks and cracks in my projects. So if any of you polymer clay whizzes out there have any ideas as to what I might be doing wrong, don't be scared to share. Anyway, working with the rainbow colour palette, I settle on purple for the skin, and I use a paint that has a metallic shimmer in it. I want the pixie to have an ethereal, mystical creature type look, and I'm hoping this paint will help with that. For his hair, I decide to use all the rainbow colours and then blend them into each other. You might also notice his boots have rainbow stripes on them, but I changed that as he was looking a bit too bright and cheery, so I switched them out for blended green and blue boots. As for the cupcake, I go for a bright yellow cake with pink frosting. Oh, I've just noticed my nails in this video. How did I not realise that when I was filming? I remember I had been working at cleaning out and reorganising our shed for 3 days straight, so they were pretty trashed. I opt for green shimmery wings, but when I go to paint the other one that fell off, I can't find it anywhere. I have a bad feeling it ended up in the bin, so I have to knock up another clay wing for him. It ends up being fatter than the other one, so now he has lopsided wings. Don't know how he's going to go flying. And this time I use good old Araldite to attach it back on. Araldite is a 2-part adhesive that works so well. It is really so super strong. And now it's time for some touch-ups. A layer of super metallic paint for his skin, some darker paint for creviced areas, and a few other final details. What I will mention is a super little tip I learnt from Super Ray Dizzle in her most recent art hack video, and that is the use of makeup brushes. She uses them for blending paint as they are really soft and smooth. Well, I've started using makeup brushes with baby oil or clay softener to remove fingerprints, and they work fantastic. Plus, I use them for dry brushing, and again, makeup brushes work so well. So I highly recommend makeup brushes for lots of different art projects.